Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We'd like to welcome everybody today for our regular Sunday virtual program. Thank you all so much for joining us. Today we have a very special topic in the history of Lord Jagannath, and this topic will be covered by our very beloved Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. So before we get into the class, just go through the schedule and then we can hand it over to Prabhu. So today's schedule, the class will be given by Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, and we'll have a question and answer section at the end of the class as well, at around 5. And then we'll have some announcements, few big announcements we have. So please stay tuned for those. And then we'll have Nashringa prayers at around 5:20. And we'll just give everyone an opportunity to take darshan as well, today's darshan. So this is today's beautiful darshan at New Panihati Dham of Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra Maharani, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, and Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan. These look extremely beautiful and extremely static today. So we'll just give everyone an opportunity to take darshan of our beloved deities. Okay, thank you so much. And before we get into the class, I'll just do a brief introduction on His Grace Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. I'm sure everybody is already very much aware of who Adi Gadadhar Prabhu is. He's such a brilliant speaker across the ISKCON society. And we are very fortunate to have him as a part of our community here in ISKCON Atlanta. He is a wonderful leader and a great mentor, and just an exemplary devotee in whole. So Adi Gadadhar Prabhu was introduced to Krishna consciousness by Gaur Gopal Prabhu in August of 1998 at the age of 18 years old, while studying at Grant Medical College at JJ Hospital in Mumbai. He completed the Bhakti Shastri course taught by Chaitanya Charan Prabhu and received first and second initiation from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. He currently serves as the Congregation Director for ISKCON Atlanta, and he's a medical doctor, and he has completed his training at Emory University. He serves as a geriatric hospitalist and lives in Atlanta with his wife, Radha Bhav Mataji, and 2 children, Gopal and Maitali. So yes, Adi Gadadhar Prabhu is one of those very profound speakers. When he speaks, his words definitely penetrate the heart, and very purifying to the senses, to the ears, to hear the narrations from Prabhu. So without any further ado, I will now hand it over to Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. Welcome, Prabhu. Thank you so much for being with us, giving us your time. You may take it from here, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, dear Naveen Prabhu, for this kind opportunity to speak Krishna Katha to all of you today. Today is a very auspicious day. It is the Tirobhav Tithi, the disappearance day of Srila Shrivas Pandit, one of the 5 members of the Panchatattva, who is an incarnation of Sri Narada Muni in Gaur Leela. So we will get started. The topic for today is the history of Lord Jagannath. So let's start with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha कृष्ण पदान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Naveen Prabhu, is my voice clear?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you very clearly.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, dear devotees of New Paniyati Dham, ISKCON Atlanta. So we will be talking on the subject of the history of Lord Jagannath. The history of Lord Jagannath is a fascinating story, and it is described in the Skanda Puran. And also there are references in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and also in Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. So dear devotees, based on the teachings of our founder Acharya, Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Shri Srimad Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's disciples, we will be, based on their teachings, we will be discussing the history. So, dear devotees, as we all know, it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, Atra sarga visargasya sthanam poshana muktaya manvantare shanu katha nirodho muktirashrayah. These are the 10 topics of the Srimad Bhagavatam. As we all know, Bhagavad Gita has got 5 topics. Srila Prabhupada writes in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita that there are 5 topics primarily discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan, that is Supreme Personality of Godhead; the Jivas, the living entity, which is all of us; Prakriti, this material nature; Karma, which is the law of action and reaction; and number 5 is Kala, the time cycle, Chakra, Kala Chakra, time. These are the 5 topics discussed in Sri Bhagavad Gita. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 topics that are described. And the first 2 topics are Sarga Visarga. Atra Sarga Visargascha Sthanam Poshanam Uttaya Manvantare Shanu Katha Nirodho Muktir Ashraya. So, Atra means in this Srimad Bhagavatam, Sarga. Sarga means primary creation. Primary creation means from Mahavishnu, the Mahat Tattva appears. Mahat Tattva is a total material energy. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, everything together, that whole cloud of material creation is called Mahat Tattva, including time, Kal, including the three modes of material nature. So this whole Mahat Tattva is created by Lord Vishnu. This is called primary creation. And then secondary creation is called Visarga. Atra Sarga Visarga. So primary creation Sarga is performed by Lord Vishnu himself, whereas the secondary creation Visarga is created by Lord Brahma. So from the navel of Lord Garbhodakshai Vishnu appears a lotus flower. On that lotus flower, Brahmaji takes birth. So he's called Padmaja, one who takes birth from the lotus. So Brahmaji is the father of the material universe. And then taking the ingredients of the Mahat Tattva, Brahmaji performs a secondary creation. Secondary creation means he creates the planets, he creates different species and everything that we see in this universe, the entire Brahmanda. So that is called secondary creation. And that Lord Brahma performs. He creates the 14 planetary systems. So it is described at the beginning of the creation when Lord Brahmaji created this whole material universe, this whole Brahma Anda. It's a egg-shaped Anda, egg-shaped universe. It has a shell consisting of the 8 layers. Bhumir apur nalo vayur kham mano buddhi revacha ahankara vivinatma bhinna prakriti ashtara. So these 8 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. Bhumir apo nalo vayur kham mano buddhi revacha ahankar. Itiyam mein bhinna prakriti ashtara. These 8 layers are there, comprising the shell of this material world, the Brahmanda. So within this Brahmanda, all the creation is performed by Lord Brahma, that is Visarga. After Brahmaji created everything in this material world, Brahmaji became very depressed. Hare Krishna. The first case of major depression. Brahmaji, he actually became very, very depressed after creating this material world. And why was he depressed? Brahmaji, who is the founder of our Sampradaya, we are in the Brahma Sampradaya, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and the whole Gaudiya Sampradaya comes in line of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So we are in the Brahma Sampradaya out of the 4 Sampradayas. So our Sampradaya Acharya, Lord Brahma, he was very depressed after creating. Now creation itself is very difficult. We read in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Brahmaji was tasked with the challenge of creating this whole world. And Brahmaji found it extremely difficult. So he offered beautiful prayers to Lord Vishnu for empowerment. These prayers comprise one full chapter in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. After being empowered by Lord Vishnu, Brahmaji creates everything with great difficulty. And then he becomes very, very depressed. Why was Brahmaji depressed? Because of compassion. Because of compassion. Brahmaji prayed again to Lord Vishnu that I'm feeling very morose. I'm feeling very depressed. Please help me. So Lord Vishnu appears there on his swan carrier, very beautiful avatar, very beautiful appearance of the Supreme Lord, 4-handed form. When Lord Vishnu appears, he asks Brahmaji, please tell me why you are so sad, why you are so depressed. And Brahmaji, with folded hands, he offers prayers to Lord Vishnu and says that, my dear Lord, under your inspiration, under your guidance, I have created this material world. But I feel very sad after creating this material world. Because in this material world, everyone is simply suffering. Everyone is simply suffering. Everyone is sad. This is Dukhalayam that you have made me create. You see, sometimes when we invite devotees home, we create a nice atmosphere for them to have a good time while they're in our place. We welcome them. We give them a nice place to sit. If there are kids, we make some arrangements so kids can play. Then we cook nice prasad so that the devotees can eat nicely, enjoy that prasad. Then we sit, we talk very pleasingly with them. We may give them some gift, some book or something. And then we go outside to bid them farewell. So we make sure that they have a very good experience. Now Brahmaji is our host. He has created this whole Brahmanda, this whole material universe. And when we living entities, when Jivatmas enter this Brahmanda, we don't have a good time, because this is Dukkhalayam. This Brahmanda, this material universe is Dukkhalaya. It is a place of Dukkha. Dukkha means sorrow. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasmama. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakriti ashrita. What is that verse? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhir param. Do anyone know how that verse begins? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhir paramam gatam.
So Prabhuji, it's Mamupetya Punarjanma, Dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gatam.
Thank you very much. Mamupetya Punarjanma, Dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gatam. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Was that Karthik Prabhu?
Prabhu, that was Gaur Chandra Prabhu. Gaur Chandra Prabhu.
Yes. From New Zealand. Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear Gaur Chandra Prabhu. Thank you very much. So, this verse is there where it is said that this world, Krishna labels it as Dukkhalaya. It's a very profound statement, my dear friends, because there are so many books written on how to be happy in this world. There are so many speakers who give pep talks and motivational talks on how to be happy in this world. But the original creator of this whole universe, the creator of Brahmaji, Lord Krishna himself, who really knows this, who has, who is completely perfect, is labeling this world as Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It is not possible to be happy in this material world. This material world is filled with sorrow. Why? And even if we think that, what are you saying? I am comfortable. I have got my job. I have got a nice loving family. I have got my friend circle. I have got a house. I have got savings. I have got money. I have got good health. I am popular. I have got a healthy body. I am happy. Even if we think we are happy, the next word is Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It is ashashvat. It is temporary. We may be very happy, but then everything will be taken away from us. It's just a matter of time. Few years or few months or few days, everything will be taken away from us. Therefore, this is anityam asukham. First of all, it is asukham. But even if you think that there is happiness, it is anityam. It is not permanent. Sometimes they say that, for example, for us physicians, we get all these emails from the physician recruiters. Permanent placement. So there is locum, temporary jobs, and there is permanent placement. So they say permanent, but nothing is permanent, my dear friends. That permanent is a very relative term. It's a misnomer. Nothing is permanent in this material world. Even Brahmaji's position is not permanent. So Brahmaji prayed to Lord Vishnu that there is birth, old age, disease, death. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. There is birth, old age, disease, and death. Everyone is suffering. There is adhidavik, adhyatmik, adhibhautik, klesha. Sufferings caused by other living entities, suffering caused by one's own mind and body, and suffering caused by natural forces, the nature, things that are beyond our control, the devatas. Adhidavik. Adhyatmik means our own body, and adhibhautik means other living entities. There are these three types of kleshas, three types of sufferings, and everybody is suffering. The Trishul of Durga Devi. Durga is the universal mother of this material universe, Durga Devi. And her Trishul with the three spikes represents these three types of sufferings. So everyone is being pierced by the Trishul of Durga Devi in this material world. So Brahmaji said that I have created a place where nobody has a good time. Everyone is suffering. Sometimes they are human beings, next time they are dogs, next birth they are some birds, then they are stuck in a tree body for centuries. What is this? These living entities have forgotten you, my Lord. They don't know about you. They are in ignorance. They have forgotten you. And they are suffering because of forgetting you. So I'm very depressed. You see, among us, among physicians, the highest rate of suicide is among the psychiatrists. Why? Because all the time they are dealing with patients who are sad, who are suffering. Everyone is suffering, but physical ailments are still, there are higher chances of success in treating them. But mental diseases, because they are so subtle, today, with all this modern medical science, we don't properly understand many of these diseases. We don't have a good understanding of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and so many other conditions. We don't have a proper understanding why it happens. Even depression. Of course, for depression, there are relatively more effective medications. But for other psychiatric disorders, even today, because they are not well understood, it is easier to understand the biology of a tumor. Lung cancer, okay, it is caused by smoking tobacco. You treat it with this type of surgery, you remove it, or you can give chemotherapy, or you can give radiation. So, or you can give some immunomodulators. So there are these different therapies, and we can see them working. We can do serial CT scans, PET CT scans, and monitor the response of the tumor to the therapy. Because it's gross, you can see it with the eyes. You can see it on a MRI or a CT scan. But what about bipolar disorder or schizophrenia or depression? Can you see it on the most sophisticated MRI or CT scan? No, because it is subtle. It is affecting the mind, not the gross body. So subtler the illness, subtler the disease, the more difficult it is to understand it and treat it. If we don't understand, we can't treat it. So that's the nature of this material world, my dear friends. Very difficult. So we are all suffering here, and Brahmaji was feeling our suffering. Even though Brahmaji is very happy. In Satyalok, there is no suffering. But he was feeling for us. This is the nature of a devotee. Paradukha dukhi. So Brahmaji prayed to Lord Vishnu, please help these living entities. I have created this material universe and they're all suffering. Is there any place in this material creation that I have created where these living entities can get liberation from their suffering? And Lord Vishnu smiled and said, yes, there is one place. In your material creation, in the middle planetary system, Bhulok, on the Earth planet, just north of the ocean and just south of the Mahanadi, between the river and the ocean, there is a place called Purushottam Kshetra. And it has this name because it is my abode. Yomam Vetti, what is that verse? Yomam asamudo janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. Yomam vetti asamudo, one who knows me without any doubt. Asamudo means without any doubt. Yomam vetti asamudo janati purushottamam, one who knows me to be Purushottam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sa sarvavid, that person knows everything. Bhajate mam sarva bhavena bharata. Such a person worships me with all his or her heart and emotions. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yomam vetti asamudho, Yomam asamudho janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. That is the verse. So Krishna is Purushottam. Krishna is Purushottam. So Lord Vishnu said, because I am Purushottam and this place is my own abode, it is called Purushottam Kshetra. So you go to this Purushottam Kshetra, my dear Brahmaji, and there you will see that my mercy is present upon everyone. Anyone who dies in this place comes back to the spiritual world. Anyone who speaks in this place gets the benefit of chanting Vedic hymns. Anyone who sleeps in this place gets the benefit of being absorbed in Samadhi. In Bhagavad Gita, we see in the Ashtanga Yoga path, Samadhi is the ultimate stage, starting with asan, yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, all those things. And then finally there is Samadhi. So Lord Vishnu said, just coming and sleeping in Shri Purushottam Kshetra Jagannath Puri Dham, you get the benefit of being absorbed in Samadhi. It's a very amazing place. So Brahmaji, he offers his prayers to Lord Vishnu, and he's so eager, so enthusiastic to go to Shri Jagannath Puri Dham, Shri Purushottam Kshetra, that he immediately rushes to the earth planet. He goes to the Indian Ocean, goes a little bit north of the ocean, just south of Mahanadi, and he sees this beautiful place called Shri Purushottam Kshetra. And Lord Vishnu tells him, in this place, there is the heart of this place is a bluish mountain called Niladri. Adri means mountain. Nila means blue. There's a blue mountain. And on top of that blue mountain, my dear Brahma, Lord Vishnu had told Brahmaji, I am staying along with Lakshmi Devi in the form of Nila Madhav. On Nila Adri, Nila Madhav, the bluish Lord is staying. And Nila Madhav is a four-armed Vishnu Murti of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I am staying there, and this is my abode. So Brahmaji comes down to Jagannath Puri Dham, Purushottam Kshetra, and there he sees this Niladri, this bluish mountain. And on top of that, he has darshan of Shri Lakshmi Devi and Shri Nila Madhav. And just close by is Rohini Kund. And as Brahmaji is looking there, he sees a crow come and drink some water from that Rohini Kund. As soon as the crow touches the water of Rohini Kund, Brahmaji sees immediately that crow gets a four-armed form and becomes an associate of the Supreme Lord and goes to Vaikuntha. So Brahmaji is very happy. He understands that there is at least this one place in this material creation which is full of benedictions and which is capable of giving liberation to all the conditioned souls. So then Yamrajji sees how that crow immediately got liberation. So Yamrajji comes there and he asks Lord Nila Madhav and Lakshmi Devi, how is it that a sinful bird like crow, which is a scavenger, which eats the meat and flesh of decaying and decomposing carcasses, how can such a sinful bird such a lowly bird get a four-armed form and immediately go to Vaikuntha? So Lakshmi Devi speaks. She says, listen, my dear Yamraj, and listen, my dear Brahmaji. This abode called Purushottam Kshetra, it belongs to my Lord, Shri Nila Madhav, Shri Purushottam. And therefore, Brahmaji, you have no jurisdiction. And Yamraj, even you don't have any jurisdiction in this area. In fact, when you, from your Swargalok, will look down from the heavenly planets, when you look down upon Jagannath Puri, and you will see even the insects, even the birds, even the animals, what to speak of human beings, they will all appear to you as if they are four-armed, liberated beings, just because they are in Jagannath Puri Dham. And this place, no rules apply. Even if someone eats a fish in Jagannath Puri Dham, they will get the benefit of eating Havish, the sanctified food offering offered in the sacrifice. Basically, Krishna Prasad. You get the benefit of eating Krishna Prasad. But please don't do it, my dear friends. Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas have forbidden us from eating fish or meat or eggs. So we should not break that rule. But there is such extreme mercy that in Jagannath Puri Dham, even if someone does, they will get the benefit of eating Krishna Prasad. But look at our good fortune, my dear friends. We are getting the benefit of eating Krishna Prasad every day because we only eat Krishna Prasad. So we don't have to go and eat fish. Anyway, we are getting Krishna Prasad. So Brahmaji is very happy. And then Hare Krishna. So Brahmaji is very happy. And then Brahmaji, he requests Lord Vishnu to always stay in this abode of Jagannath Puri Dham. And Lord Vishnu says, I will stay here for 50 years of your life. So Brahmaji lives for 50 years. And this happened at the very dawn of creation, at the beginning of creation. When Brahmaji created this world, he became very sad seeing the suffering of all the people. So this pastime took place right in the beginning of Brahmaji's life. Now Brahmaji lives for 100 years. Lord Nila Madhav told Brahmaji, I will stay in this place for 50 years of your life, which is billions and billions of years on earth. I will stay for 50 years of your lifetime here in Jagannath Puri. But after that, my dear Brahma, I will come and I will stay in your abode in Brahmalok. And next 50 years you can worship me there in Brahmalok. But then who will stay here? Brahmaji asks in Jagannath Puri Dham. And see how much Brahmaji is concerned about all of us. And Lord Nila Madhav says, after 50 years of your life, I will stay here in the form of Jagannath. And a very great devotee of mine by the name Indradyumna, King Indradyumna, will build a very beautiful temple for me. Hare Krishna. And that brings us to the second story for the day. The first story is the story of Brahmaji. And what lesson do we learn from here? We learn the lesson of Para Dukkha Dukhi. Brahmaji was wanting to benefit all of us. And because of Brahmaji's prayers, because of Brahmaji's compassion, he made the Supreme Lord appear in this material world as Shri Nila Madhav in Shri Jagannath Puri Dham. Now that brings us to a second story. So now Brahmaji is 50 years old, my dear friends. And which is a fact, Brahmaji is 50 years old as of now. So Brahmaji becomes 50 years old and Brahmaji has he lives for 100 years. Each year is 360 days. And each day is called one kalpa. One day of Brahma is called one kalpa. And each kalpa has 1,000 cycles of Satyug, Tretayug, Dwapar Yug, Kali Yug. Satyug, Tretayug, Dwapar Yug, Kali Yug, these four yugas together is one Mahayug. And in one day of Brahma, there are 1,000 Mahayugas, 1,000 Kali Yugas, 1,000 Satya Yugas, 1,000 Treta Yugas, 1,000 Dwapar Yugas in one day of Brahma. And in one day of Brahma, there are also 14 Manus who come and rule. 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. Each Manu rules for 71 Divya Yugas, 71 cycles of Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. So 71 multiplied by 14 is 1,000. So there are 1,000 cycles of Mahayugas, Divya Yugas in one day, in one Kalpa of Brahma. And then that is the duration of Brahmaji's night also. So Brahmaji's day is 1,000 cycles of Divya Yugas and Brahmaji's night is also that same duration. Now what is the duration of Kali Yuga? Kali Yuga is 432,000 years, earthly years, as we know it, January to December, 12 months. So Kali Yuga is 432,000 earthly years. Dwapar Yuga is twice that. So it is 864,000 years. Treta Yuga is 3 times Kali Yuga. And Satya Yuga is 4 times Kali Yuga. Hare Krishna. So that is one Divya Yuga. Like that, there are 1,000 Divya Yugas in one day of Brahma. So now Brahmaji has become 50 years old and each year of Brahma has 360 days, such days and such nights. So Brahmaji is 50 years old now. And once in a day of Brahma, once every kalpa, means once every 1,000 cycles of Divya Yugas, Lord Krishna himself appears on this earth planet. So when Brahmaji became 50 years old, in one of the kalpas, one of the days, Lord Krishna appeared. And he performed very beautiful Leela in Shri Vrindavan Dham, which is Supreme Lord Krishna's Nitya Dham, eternal abode. And then he went to Mathura and then he went to Dwarka. So once when Krishna was in Dwarka, not in this kalpa of Brahma, in the previous kalpa of Brahma we are talking about. But Brahmaji has just become 50 years old. So in the previous kalpa, when Lord Krishna was present here on earth, when he was performing his Dwarka Leela, one day Krishna's wives, Rukmini Devi, Satyabhama and others, Jambavati and others, they were talking. And they were saying that Krishna is always remembering Shri Vrindavan Dham. Specifically, he remembers Srimati Radhika Rani. And even in his sleep, he's saying, Shri Radha, Shri Radha, 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 Lalita, Vishakha, Radha, 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 with each breath, all night long. Rukmini Devi says, I have heard Krishna is always remembering Vrindavan and calling out the names of Shri Radha, Shri Radha, Shri Radha. It seems that Krishna is only married to us for namesake, but Krishna's heart is in Vrindavan. Satyabhama says, yes, what to speak of night, day and night, Krishna is thinking of Srimati Radharani and Shri Vrindavan Dham. We must find out what is the glory of Srimati Radharani's love. What is the glory of Shri Vrindavan Dham? The only person other than Krishna and Balram who has experienced life in Vrindavan, who has interacted with the Vrajavasis, is Rohini Maiya, Srimati Rohini Devi. So let us ask her. So 16,108 queens of Krishna in Dwarka, they go to Shri Rohini Devi and they request her, Mother, please can you tell us the pastimes of Krishna and Balram in Shri Vrindavan Dham? Please tell us who is Srimati Radharani and what is the glory of her love. When requested in this way, Rohini Devi becomes very excited and she remembers the years, the 11 years that she spent in Vrindavan Dham. She becomes very nostalgic. She remembers the love of the Brajvasis. And she says, I will tell all of you. But Vraja Leela is very attractive to Krishna. As soon as Krishna comes to know that I am speaking Vraj Leela, he will leave all his duties in the Sudharma assembly hall where he is currently performing his kingly duties, his royal duties, and he will immediately come here. And if he comes here, he will not be able to take the ecstasy of hearing Vraj Leela. He will start crying in separation from Vrindavan. So we don't want Krishna Balram to hear this Leela. So someone has to guard. Now all the 16,108 queens, they wanted to hear. They did not want to become doorkeepers. They wanted to hear and relish Vraj Leela. So there were no volunteers. But our Subhadra Devi, she volunteered. Okay, I will be the guardian. I will stand guard at the door and I will warn all of you when Krishna Balram come. So the agreement is made. Subhadra Devi is standing at the door and all the queens, they come inside the big palace and they sit. And Shri Rohini Devi starts speaking the glories of Shri Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan Mahima Amrit, the nectar of the glories of Shri Vrindavan Dham. And everyone is listening with rapt attention. No sound system is required. Rohini Devi, because this is the spiritual world. Dwarkapuri also is spiritual world. So there is no limitation of space, time, sound. Everything is spiritual in the spiritual world. You don't have to scream. Are you able to hear? Is my voice clear? Like I was asking in the beginning of the class. No such problems. When Krishna was speaking Bhagavad Gita, there were millions of soldiers on the battlefield. And not that one day before the Kurukshetra war, they were setting up Pandal or they were setting up the sound system. They were testing sound system. Krishna is going to speak Bhagavad Gita tomorrow. We have to make sure everybody can hear. No, everyone heard Bhagavad Gita. That was a private conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. But no sound system is required because sound itself is a servant of Krishna. Sound is energy of Krishna. Naveen Prabhu, I have to take this call. So can you please stand Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhu. No problem. Sorry about that, dear devotees. Adhikara Prabhu just had to take care of a call. So we'll just wait on him. We'll just chant while we wait. I'll just lead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, dear Naveen Prabhu. I apologize for the interruption. Please forgive me.
No problem, Prabhu.
So, what were we saying, Naveen Prabhu? Can you just give me a little reminder?
Yes. So you were explaining about the just trying to recall also, Prabhu. I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah. No.
Prabhuji, okay. You were saying that Subhadra Mai was made to stand outside and guard.
Yes. Thank you, Vinit Prabhu. So Subhadra Devi was standing at the door, and Rohini Devi, she starts speaking Vraj Leela, and all the queens are listening with rapt attention. But Subhadra Devi, she also wants to hear. So see, from Subhadra Devi we can learn the spirit of selflessness, selfless service. All the queens wanted to listen. Even Subhadra Devi wanted to listen, but she sacrificed for the higher purpose so that the queens could hear Vraj Leela. So she volunteered to become the guardian at the door. So we understand the spirit of selflessness from Subhadra Devi. So Subhadra Devi was doing her seva, but Krishna Katha is so powerful. And Rohini Devi was speaking with such enthusiasm and such feelings that her sound vibrations, they went outside the palace where Subhadra Devi was standing guard. And it went to the Sudharma assembly hall also, where Krishna and Balram heard. But Subhadra Devi heard first because she was right there outside the door. And as Subhadra Devi heard the pastimes of Vrindavan, Subhadra Devi through sound vibration was transported to Shri Vrajdham, Shri Vrindavan. And she started exhibiting symptoms of ecstasy. Her eyes became big. Her limbs started entering her body. And she started exhibiting Mahabhav. Just by listening, just by hearing about the glory of Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna, these transformations took place in Subhadra Devi. And Subhadra Devi lost external consciousness. And inside the palace hall, no one was aware what is happening outside to Subhadra Devi. In the meantime, as soon as Krishna and Balram heard Vraj Leela, they came running, and they saw Subhadra Devi outside manifesting great ecstasy. So Krishna and Balram went close by and they started listening to Vrindavan Leela. And Rohini Devi was speaking Krishna Katha so sweetly, Vrindavan Vraj Leela so sweetly, that Krishna and Balram also, they exhibited Mahabhav, great ecstasy. Their eyes became big, round. They had a big smile on their face, thinking of Vrindavan. And they wanted to embrace the Brajvasis. Their hands became straight, and then the hands started entering their bodies. And they became Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. Krishna, Balram, and Shri Subhadra Devi became Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. And they were exhibiting. They were relishing Vraj Leela. At that time, Shri Narad Muni happened to be passing in the sky through the airways. Narada Muni bajaye veena, Radhika Ramana Name. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes. Narad Muni is always traveling, chanting Jai Radha Raman, Radha Raman, Radha Raman. So he was chanting the glories of Radha and Krishna and hearing Vrindavan pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Now there is Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra manifesting their Mahabhav in Dwarka. So as soon as Narad Muni sees, he comes down and he starts offering obeisances repeatedly to Krishna, Balram and Subhadra. What a beautiful form. And what wonderful Vraj Leela. As soon as Narad Muni starts offering prayers and obeisances, Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra, they come back to their external consciousness. Their ecstasy is broken by the prayers of Narad Muni. So they say, oh, my dear Narad Muni, sorry. Please don't mind what you saw. We were just in ecstasy. We couldn't control our ecstasy. And Narad Muni said, no, I have seen such a wonderful manifestation of your love for Shri Vrindavan Dham. Oh, my Lord, please give me this one benediction. If I have ever served you nicely, please give me this one benediction. Somewhere on this earth planet, always stay as Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and give this darshan. This darshan that I saw today, I want everyone else to see also. So please be present somewhere in this beautiful form that you showed me and shower your mercy on everyone. Krishna smiles. He is very pleased with Narad Muni's attitude. So what is the next lesson we learn from Sri Narad Muni? Here we learn the lesson that whatever wonderful things, gifts we receive in life, we must share them with others. Sharing them with others. This is the principle of book distribution. Transcendental book distribution. Srila Prabhupada's book distribution. This is the spirit. That we have received this great gift in our life of Sri Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now we want to share it with others. Narad Muni got the darshan of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. No one had seen this darshan before. Krishna Balram in such ecstasy, just listening to the pastimes of Sri Vrindavan Dham, such ecstasy. No one had seen this form of the Supreme Lord. Narad Muni saw. But now Narad Muni says, why should the rest of the world be deprived of this darshan? They should also be able to see this darshan. So therefore, my Lord, always remain present in this form somewhere to give this beautiful darshan, merciful darshan to everyone. Krishna is very pleased. He smiles. He says, Tathastu. It will be so. In the next kalpa, I will appear in the same form that I manifested today. I will appear in Sri Jagannath Puri Dham. And all three of us will appear. And we will be called Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And this darshan will be so beautiful. So beautiful. Anyone who sees us will be blessed, will be liberated. And because this darshan is so beautiful, we will also have with us Sudarshan. Sudarshan Chakra. Because Sudarshan means beautiful darshan. So in this way, Lord Krishna promises that in the next kalp, in the next day of Brahma, I will definitely appear as Jagannath Baldev Subhadra in Jagannath Puri Dham. So Krishna says that Brahmaji is now 50 years old. For the first 50 years, I appear as Nila Madhav in Jagannath Puri. And the next 50 years, I will appear as Jagannath Baldev Subhadra in Nilachal, same place. So then Narad Muni is very happy. Then in the next kalpa, the next day of Brahma. Now again, remember, one day of Brahma has got 14 Manus. Each Manu has 71 Divya Yuga cycles. And each Divya Yuga cycle is Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, like that. And once in a day of Brahma only, Krishna appears. So in the next kalpa, when the next kalpa started, and Krishna also comes during there are 14 Manus in each day of Brahma, and Krishna comes during the 7th Manu. During the 7th Manu of each day of Brahma. During 7th Manu. And each Manu has 71 Divya Yuga cycles. And Krishna comes in the 28th Divya Yuga. Hare Krishna. It's very scientific. So like that. So now, after giving this promise to Narad Muni, it brings us to the last and final concluding story of the day. The third story of the origin of Lord Jagannath. So we are seeing how it's building up. Beginning of creation. Brahmaji, beginning of creation. He sees the suffering. He prays that, Lord, please, is there some place where these living entities can get liberation? And the Supreme Lord Vishnu says, yes, it is Purushottam Kshetra. I am present there as Nila Madhav. That's the first story. Second is, now Brahmaji is 50 years old and Krishna has come as he normally does in each kalpa of Brahma, and Narad Muni is praying to Krishna that this beautiful form of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra you must manifest somewhere. And Krishna says, yes, I will come as Jagannath Baldev Subhadra in Sri Purushottam Kshetra in the next kalpa, the next day. And now the next day comes. And in the beginning of the next day of Brahma, there is a king called, his name is Maharaj Indradyumna. He's a pure devotee of the Lord. And he is ruling along with his wife, Gundicha. King Indradyumna's wife's name is Shri Gundicha. And they are living in Madhya Pradesh, in a place called Avanti, which is near to Ujjain. And in Ujjain, we have our Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. By the Western calendar, today is his first disappearance tithi. Exactly 1 year ago, on this day, July 4th, Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj went back to the spiritual world, leaving all of us here crying. All the devotees who chanted extra rounds for Maharaj, who offered prayers for Maharaj last year, my heartfelt gratitude to all of you. Even in his passing, Maharaj made all of us chant so much. This is the sign of a sadhu. Always inspiring devotees to chant the holy name, to come closer to Krishna. So, Srila Bhakti-Charu Swami Maharaj, such a wonderful example. In Ujjain, he has created such a beautiful temple, such a wonderful congregation, wonderful service to Radha Krishna. He has created a very beautiful temple there. Ujjain is the same place where Krishna went to the ashram of Sandipani Muni to get his education. Both Krishna and Balram, they went there. So in this place, Avanti, now Lord Krishna has not appeared because this is the beginning of the next day of Brahma. Krishna will come in the seventh Manvantara. There are 14 Manvantars in one day of Brahma. In the 7th Manvantar, Krishna will come. But in the Swayambhuva Manvantar, in the first Manvantar, there was a king called King Indradumna. And he lived in Avantipur. And his wife is Queen Gundicha. And he is very much attached to hearing Krishna Katha. So every day he invites sadhus and he hears Krishna Katha with them. So one day some sadhus come and they say, oh ho ho, we are coming from a beautiful pilgrimage place, Shri Purushottam Kshetra. There is the most beautiful deity in the whole world. His name is Neela Madhav. He's so beautiful. What a beautiful divine abode. Anyone who has darshan of Neela Madhav even once will not take birth in this material world again. Will go back to the spiritual world. When King Indradumna hears this, he starts discussing with his wife that we must go to this abode. What is the use of staying here? Let us go and take darshan of Neela Madhav. In fact, why should we go? Just two of us. We will take all our ministers, all our army, all our citizens, everyone. We will abandon this kingdom of Avanti, Ujjain, and we'll go and find and stay with Lord Neela Madhav. And all our life, all of us, with all our body, mind, wealth, intelligence, will just serve Neela Madhav. And Gundicha Devi says, yes, let's do it. So the king turns to the sadhus. Now please tell us where we can find Shri Neela Madhav. But by that time, the sadhus have left. Hare Krishna. The sadhus have gone. And King Indradumna is searching, where are the sadhus gone? Where is that sadhu who is coming from Nilachal? Where is he gone? Everybody is searching, but no one can find that sadhu. And King Indradumna becomes very, very despondent. Oh, now how will I find out the whereabouts of Shri Neela Madhav? And then King Indradumna says, one should not get disappointed. One should never get discouraged in devotional service. And he calls all his trusted ministers and tells them, please go and find out. Travel north, south, east, west, everywhere, and find out where Shri Neela Madhav is. And bring me a report in 3 months. And once we find where Shri Neela Madhav is, we will all go there. So he sends ministers, trusted ministers in all directions. And his main minister's son was Shri Vidyapati. He says, you please go and find out where Shri Neela Madhav is. So Vidyapati, he goes to the Indian Ocean. And then he goes a little bit north and he finds the Mahanadi River. And he's searching everywhere. 3 months have already passed. All the other search parties have returned to Avanti empty-handed. All hopes are pinned on Vidyapati. He's asking everywhere, where is Neela Madhav? Where is Neela Madhav? And in his travels in that area, he comes in contact with some tribal people. They are called the Shabaris. And he asks them, what place is this? What is this? Can you tell me something? Can I stay here with you for some time? Because that place is very divine, very beautiful. So they say, yes, but you must meet our king and request permission from him. He's very benevolent and he will let you stay. So Vidyapati says, okay, I will go there. What is the name of that Shabari king? I'm forgetting. Vidyapati and something from V only.
Vishwavasu?
Yes, thank you. Vishwavasu. So Vishwavasu and his daughter Lalita. So he goes to the house of Vishwavasu and requests if he can be their guest for some time, and they gladly agree. And this Vidyapati, he notices that Vishwavasu, every day he goes somewhere, and in the evening he comes back and he's wearing the most fragrant garland, and he brings home the most wonderful prasad, and he's looking so effulgent and so happy. So he asks Vishwavasu, can you please tell me what is the secret? And Vishwavasu says, no, nothing. Don't worry. You are my guest, just be happy. Now, Vishwavasu has a daughter called Lalita. And Lalita and Vidyapati, they fall in love. So they get married. And then Lalita, because she loves her husband so much, she tells the secret to her husband. She says that, my dear husband, Vidyapati ji, actually my father goes to worship a particular deity. Acha, deity? What is the name of the deity? And Lalita replies, his name is Shri Nila Madhav, and he is our Ishtadev. And all of us, the Shabari tribes, our whole life is dedicated to worshipping Shri Nila Madhav. For ages, we have been worshipping. But there is a legend that says that one day Nila Madhav is going to disappear. My father dreads that day. Therefore, we keep it all secret. We don't talk about him anywhere. So Vidyapati says, please, I want to take darshan. Now, he doesn't tell his wife that he's on a mission to find out the whereabouts of Shri Nila Madhav. But he says, I want to take darshan of Nila Madhav once, please. So then Lalita, she requests her father, please, he's my husband. He's your son-in-law. Please, let's take him. So then Vishwavasu says, all right, I will take, but we have to blindfold him so that he doesn't know the way. So they blindfold him. But Lalita gives him some mustard seeds and tells him, as we are going in the bullock cart, you keep dropping mustard seeds. Then later on, these mustard seeds will grow into mustard plants and they will have bright yellow flowers. So when you want to find the whereabouts of Nila Madhav, just follow the trail of the bright yellow mustard plants and you'll come to Nila Madhav. So it's very good, very good. So Vidyapati does that. He's blindfolded, but he keeps dropping those seeds. When he's brought in front of Shri Nila Madhav on top of that mountain, Niladri, and his blindfold is opened, and Vidyapati has his first darshan of Shri Nila Madhav. His heart is completely charmed by the beauty of Shri Nila Madhav and Shri Lakshmi Devi. So beautiful they are. 400 beautiful darshan, holding Gada, Chakra, Shankha, and Padma, four-armed form. And Vidyapati offers his obeisances, offers his prayers. And then Vishwavasu, full day, he performs elaborate worship of Shri Nila Madhav. And he allows Vidyapati to assist him. He sings songs, he chants holy names, he dances in front of the deity, he offers garland, sandalwood paste, everything. Nice worship. After worshipping all day long, in the evening, they come back. And then Vishwavasu reveals the secret to Vidyapati. He says that in the daytime, we Shabari tribals, we worship Shri Nila Madhav. And at night, Lord Brahma, Yamraj, and all the Devatas, they come and they worship Lord Nila Madhav. And the wives of the demigods, they cook for Lord Nila Madhav. And their divine celestial garlands and the bhoga that they have offered to Nila Madhav, which becomes prasadam, that is the prasad that I bring home every day and eat. That's why the taste of that prasadam is so wonderful. Those garlands are so beautiful and fragrant. And even my body is always so effulgent and fragrant because of that. Oh, now Vidyapati understands the great secret of Nila Madhav. So then one day he reveals to his wife his true identity. Actually, I am the son of the Prime Minister of King Indradyumna from Avanti. At that time, Avanti was the capital of the whole world. And Indradyumna was the king of the whole planet. So everyone knew King Indradyumna. So he told Lalita that, my dear wife, please let me go now to Avanti and I will soon come back with my king, Indradyumna. He is very wonderful. His wife, Shri Gundicha Devi, she is also a wonderful devotee. And we'll all stay together here and we'll worship Nila Madhav. I'll go and come. She said, okay. And then Vidyapati, he rushes with such happiness to Avanti, and he goes to King Indradyumna and tells him the good news. I have found Nilamadhav. And King Indradyumna says, let us leave everything, let's abandon the whole kingdom, let us immediately go to Nilachal. And they go. What is the lesson we learn from here, my dear friends? To attain Krishna is not so easy. We have to pay the price. We have to have complete surrender, dedication, and determination. Look at King Indradyumna. He is trying so hard to get darshan of Shri Nilamadhav. And once he gets darshan of Nilamadhav, not that he just wants to take darshan so he'll be liberated. No, he wants to stay and serve Nilamadhav for the rest of his life. Giving up his kingdom, palace, luxuries, everything. This is dedication. This is Krishna consciousness. We learn from King Indradyumna. And then they all come. As soon as they enter the kingdom of Utkal, Utkal is the whole state of Orissa. The king comes to, the local king comes to meet King Indradyumna. So he is a local king of Utkal, but King Indradyumna is the king of the whole earth planet. So he comes to meet, and King Indradyumna inquires, my dear king of Utkal, how is your kingdom doing? And King of Utkal says, my dear king Indradyumna, what shall I say? Last night there was a horrible cyclone, and the entire coastal region of Utkal was devastated. Everything was covered with a huge wall of sand. Everything was destroyed. And I just got a report that there was a very beautiful temple of Shri Nilamadhav on Niladri mountain, and everything has been destroyed, and Shri Nilamadhav has disappeared. When King Indradyumna hears this, he had left everything for Nilamadhav, and now Nilamadhav has disappeared. King Indradyumna immediately faints and becomes unconscious. At that time, Shri Narada Muni comes there and says, my dear King Indradyumna, please don't be disappointed. He sprinkles water and wakes him up. Please do not be disappointed, my dear. King Indradyumna says, what is the purpose of living now? I have lost Nilamadhav. Narada Muni says, you have faith. Let us go to Niladri and let us pray to Nilamadhav. You pray to Nilamadhav, you are very sincere, and Nilamadhav will fulfill all your desires. So when King Indradyumna goes to Niladri and he performs 1,000 yagyas, 1,000 Ashwamedh yagyas in Satyayuga, 1,000 he performs, only with the purpose of getting darshan of Shri Nilamadhav, an opportunity to serve Nilamadhav. As soon as 1,000 yajna is over, some messengers come running to King Indradyumna and Shri Narada Muni, and they say, a divine fragrance is coming on the seashore, and we see a huge tree is floating along the waves of the ocean. Can you please come and see? It's very divine. So immediately Narada Muni tells King Indradyumna, this tree is not an ordinary tree. This tree is a hair from the divine body of Shri Nilamadhav. And he has come here with the message that very soon he's going to fulfill all your desires. Let's quickly go to the ocean. So King Indradyumna, along with Shri Narada Muni, they go to the beach in Jagannath Puri. And they see the huge tree. When they look closely, they see that every part of that tree is marked with the auspicious marks of Lord Vishnu. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. So they tell the soldiers, please pull this tree ashore. And the tree is pulled to the shore. And then Narada Muni says, from this tree, the Supreme Lord will appear. From this tree, the Supreme Lord will appear. Narada Muni tells King Indradyumna. And then, just then, a very old man appears. He's actually Vishwakarma, but he's in disguise. And he volunteers. He says, I will carve the beautiful deities using this tree, the wood from this tree. But I have a condition. I will do it in 14 days. But no one should open. No one should open the door as I'm working. No one should stay there to listen to the sound of me chiseling away at the wood. And no one should give me water. No one should give me any food. without any break, I will work for 15 days. And then I will carve these deities at the end of 15 days. But don't disturb and don't check. If anyone opens the door, I will disappear. So the king agrees. So he's given a secluded place to work. A big hall is built for him. And he closes the door and he starts working. Day and night, he works for 15 days. After 15 days, there is no sound. But he has not opened the door. So King Indradyumna is so much eager to take darshan of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Sudarshan, that he cannot control himself. Anyway, 15 days are over. Why he's not opening? And I don't hear any sound of him working inside either. So King Indradyumna, at the end of 15 days, he opens the door. And he sees 3 pieces of wood. They look as if they are unfinished. And the old man is not there. Again, disappointment. King Indradyumna starts crying. Oh, what have I done? Why did I open the door? He had told me not to open the door. What did I do? What did I do? And he starts crying. Very disappointed. I have lost my chance. Now what do I do with these unfinished pieces of wood? At that time, Narad Muni, he puts his hand on the shoulder of King Indradyumna and tells him, get up, my dear king. Now let me tell you a secret. Hare Krishna. And he tells him the story. In the previous Kalpa, what he had seen in Dwarka. And Krishna's promise that I will appear as Jagannath. He said, this is that darshan. This is exactly my Jagannath Baldeswar. This is exactly what I had seen in the previous Kalpa. Jagannath has appeared. He has kept his promise. This is Jagannath. Now, let us go call Brahmaji and install them. Because we need Brahmaji to install them. So let us go to Brahmalok. So Indradyumna says, can I come with you? And Narad Muni says, yes, you come with me. So then Narad Muni takes Indradyumna king all the way to Swargalok, Maharlok, Tapalok, and then Brahmalok. And in Brahmalok, Brahmaji is offering beautiful prayers to Lord Nila Madhav. He's offering beautiful prayers to Lord Krishna. So the doorkeeper says, my dear Narad and King Indradyumna, Brahmaji will certainly give you audience, but please wait for a few moments. Let Brahmaji finish his Sandhya Vandan. After Brahmaji finishes his prayers, Narad Muni and King Indradyumna go and they request Narad Muni, they request Brahmaji, Brahmaji, please come and do the Prana Pratisthapana of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. They have appeared. They have appeared in Srinilachal. So Brahmaji says, yes, I will certainly come. And then Brahmaji comes. But then Brahmaji says, because you waited for me for a few moments in Brahmalok, those few moments is thousands of years on our planet. So by the time Brahmaji returns with King Indradyumna and Narad Muni, many thousands of years have passed. And the whole dynasty of King Indradyumna is finished. But when Indradyumna comes, Brahmaji says there is no need to do Prana Pratisthapana. He is already Jagannath. They have appeared. Now immediately let's do their Abhishek. And then Vishwakarma comes again, that old man, and he builds 3 chariots. And Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra are placed on those 3 chariots and they are brought to Nilachal. And there a beautiful temple is constructed and Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra are installed there. And that yatra from the seashore where the log of wood came and it was sculpted into 3 deities. And when Brahmaji came, Vishwakarma built those chariots, and from there the deities were taken to the temple of Jagannath Puri on Nilachal mountain. That is the first Rath Yatra. And by the time King Indradyumna came from Brahmalok, everyone had died except Gundicha. Except Gundicha. By the mercy of Krishna, she survived. All those times she was waiting for her husband to come back. So that was the place where Gundicha was waiting, where the Rath Yatra started and came to the temple in Nilachal. And that was the first Rath Yatra. And in this way, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra were installed. And there's also a story that all these years had passed. So now there was a new king. And that king attacked King Indradyumna. Who is this king? He is establishing deities of Jagannath here in my kingdom. But when he sees the devotion of King Indradyumna, when he sees Shripad Narad Muni, and when he sees Brahmaji, and finally when he sees Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Sudarshan, his heart completely melts and he surrenders at the lotus feet of King Indradyumna. He says, you are the king. You rule. I am your servant. And King Indradyumna and Gundicha tell him that no. We have lived our life. The purpose of our life was to make Jagannath appear here. Because of us, Nila Madhav disappeared. So we wanted to make sure that Jagannath appears in Nilachal. Now Jagannath has appeared. Our time is over. Now you take over. You take over the service of Jagannath, and we will depart. And then King Indradumna, after making sure that Jagannath's service was very well established, King Indradumna and Gundicha, they disappeared and went back to the spiritual world. In this way, with the help of Narada Muni, King Indradumna, he was able to bring Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra in Jagannath Puri Dham. And that same Narada Muni, who always gave encouragement to King Indradumna, who always guided King Indradumna, that same Narada Muni in Kali Yuga appears as Shri Shrivas Thakur. And today is Shrivas Pandit's disappearance day, Tirobhav Tithi. So it's a very auspicious day that we are talking about the origin of Lord Jagannath, because Narad Muni is intimately involved in the appearance of Jagannath. Even in Dwarka, it was Narad Muni who petitioned Krishna that promise me you will appear in this form in Jagannath Puri. So that same Narad Muni came as Shrivas Thakur, participated in the Nam Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And today is his Tirobhav Tithi. And this same Narad Muni is so dear to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is the first Acharya and the only Acharya in the history of this planet who for the first time took this Jagannath, Baldev Subhadra Rath Yatra from Jagannath Puri all over the world. As a 5-year-old child, he was doing it in his lane in Calcutta. What is that called? What was the lane that? Harrison Lane? Something like that. In his Harrison Lane. And now later on, Srila Prabhupada did it in San Francisco, in New York, in London, and our new Panyati Dham, Atlanta. Srila Prabhupada has taken this Jagannath Rath Yatra everywhere. How pleased Narad Muni must be with Srila Prabhupada. This Western world was in the mode of ignorance and passion. No one knew about Jagannath. He is Jagannath, but no one knew about him outside Jagannath Puri, outside India. But Srila Prabhupada brought Jagannath Rath Yatra to the whole Western world. Paschatya Desha Tarene. How pleased Narad Muni must be with Srila Prabhupada. Because it was Narad Muni who requested Krishna to appear as Jagannath for the deliverance of the whole world. Jagannath appeared. But the whole world was not delivered because nobody knew about Jagannath. It was Srila Prabhupada who brought that Jagannath all over the world. And therefore, when Srila Prabhupada came to the West, one day Srila Prabhupada was doing a program and nobody came. And the devotees in New York were very disappointed. Sorry, Prabhupada, we booked such a big auditorium, but no one showed up. Hardly 10-15 people showed up. Prabhupada, huh? You did not see Narad Muni? He was there. He was smiling and he was dancing in the kirtan. Why not? Why not? Because Narad Muni's heart is para upkar. Jibe doya. He wants to shower mercy on people. And Srila Prabhupada became such an instrument of Sri Narad Muni and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to distribute the mercy of Mahaprabhu all over the world. So it is not surprising that when Srila Prabhupada was creating history, we are talking about history of Jagannath today. When Srila Prabhupada was creating history through his compassion, it is no wonder that Narad Muni came to witness that historical moment. So it's a full circle from origin of creation of the Brahmanda, Brahmaji. Then Brahmaji is 50 years old. Narad Muni has darshan in Dwarka. And finally, that Narad Muni helps Indradumna Maharaj in bringing Jagannath to this world. And Srila Prabhupada brought that Jagannath to the entire world. So it's a very beautiful occasion. And this, my dear friends, is the story of Jagannath. I tried to present it in my broken words. I am not a good devotee. Therefore, I am not empowered and I am not able to speak properly. But I somehow made an attempt. I hope all of you are pleased with my attempt. So Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Shrivas Pandit Mahashaya ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the wonderful class once again. So wonderfully how you systematically explained from the beginning of Lord Brahma and up until Krishna Leela and into the present age of where Indradumna Maharaj was present, where Jagannath appeared. It was really, really amazing and very pleasing to the ears, Prabhu. Thank you so much for explaining and for giving such a wonderful class. Your narrations are always filled with so much nectar and are so easily and simply able to understand. So thank you, Prabhu. I just want to see if we have any questions. I do see that there is one person who raised their hand, but I think they may have removed their hand now. Just 1 second, let me double check. Is there anyone on the call who would like to ask a question? Okay. Yes, Prabhu. I see Gaur Chandra Prabhu who would like to ask a question. Prabhu, you may go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. And thank you very much, Prabhuji, for a very nice katha. I've heard this katha many, many, many times, but every time I hear it, it gives me a new realization. So, Prabhuji, as we, in our homes, in India and in the West, we have Jagannath, Subhadra, Baladev deities. And so, obviously, we have heard many times that, whatever you, my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Janananda Goswami Maharaj, when he came, and then he said that since you have Gaur Nita, you have, Jagannath, Subhadra, Baladev. So your homes are like, like it's not different to Jagannath Puri. It's not different to Vrindavan Dham. So how to always stay in that mood that yes, we are in a Dham and we are actually Jagannath in Puri itself. How can we in that mood always 24/7, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada is very merciful. Our Guru Varga, they are very merciful. His Holiness Janananda Goswami Maharaj is very merciful. We have to understand the connection of all these deities. Here in New Panija Dham in Atlanta also, we have 3 main deities. We have Shri Radha Madan Mohan, we have Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan, and we have Gaur Nitai. So Krishna in Vrindavan is the original Krishna. He is the original Godhead. Krishna in Vrindavan. And temporarily, Krishna, he appears to leave Vrindavan. But actually, he is manifesting himself as Mathuranath Krishna and Dwarkadhish Krishna. When he's staying such a long time in Dwarka for 100 years, he is in separation from Vrindavan. That Dwarkadhish Krishna who is in separation from Vrindavan is Jagannath. You see how to Narad Muni he appeared as Jagannath while listening to Rohini Devi's story. So Dwarkadhish Krishna who is feeling separation from Vrindavan is Jagannath. Krishna is Rajendra Nandan Krishna. He is Vrindavan Krishna, Nandanandan Krishna. So look, think about our deities in Atlanta. We have Radha Madan Mohan, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Gaur Nitai. So Radha Madan Mohan are the original living. They never leave Vrindavan. Vrindavana Parityaja, Padam Ekam Na Gacchati. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So Krishna and Radharani, they are Radha Madan Mohan. But for the sake of Leela, Krishna appears to go to Dwarka. And then he's feeling separation from Vrindavan. That is Jagannath. Krishna, Dwarkadhish Krishna, feeling separation from Vrindavan is Jagannath. Radharani is crying in Vrindavan for Krishna. Even little bit separation, Srimati Radharani cannot tolerate. Even during the Ras Leela, when for some time Krishna disappeared, the gopis started crying. And they chanted the Gopi Geet. Iti gopya pragayantya pralapantyascha chitradha rurudhu suswaram rajan Krishna darshana lalasa. They have Krishna darshana lalasa. And rurudhu, they are crying in separation from Krishna in the Gopi Geet. Yatte sujata charanam buruham staneshu bhita. Srimati Radharani is saying, I fear Krishna. You are walking in this forest at night. There is no light. It's dark at night. You may step on some thorn. You may step on some sharp pebble. Your lotus feet that we so gently keep in our heart. Your soft lotus feet are walking in the rough night forest. There are sharp thorns and pebbles and you will get hurt. I'm afraid for you. This is the love of Srimati Radharani. They are always crying for Krishna. But Krishna he presents himself as if I am not attached.
Mm.
Samaha sarveshu bhuteshu name dveshtasya no priya. Na priya, he says. Na priya. Nobody is dear to me. I am Bhagavan. Once Krishna came late for the Ras Leela, and the gopis asked him, Krishna, why are you late? And Krishna said, my guru had come. I was serving my guru on the other side of Yamuna. Acha, who is your guru? My guru is Durvas Muni. Oh, your guru had come. Durvas Muni has come. Oh. Then we also want to serve him. So Krishna, yes, you must serve him. Krishna says, you must serve him. Go and offer him some fruits. There are nice fruits in the Vrindavan forest. Go and offer him some fruits. So the Radharani and all the gopis said, why fruits? We will cook Chhappan Bhog for Durvas Muni. He is your guru. So we'll serve him very nicely. And immediately all the manjaris and gopis, they start cooking. And they cook a beautiful feast for Durvas Muni. And they say, Krishna, now we are going to cross the Yamuna and we will feed your guru, we'll serve your guru. Anyone related to Krishna, the gopis want to serve. What to speak of Krishna's guru, Durvas Muni, who is an incarnation of Lord Shiva. So Radharani and all the gopis, Lalita, Vishaka, Sakhi, everyone, all the manjaris, they cook nice feast. They say, now we'll go and feed Durvas Muni. So Krishna is okay, but how will you cross the river? So they go to Yamuna. Yamuna is flooded. Oh, how will we cross Yamuna? Krishna, please help us. How will we cross Yamuna? Krishna says, don't worry. Just tell Yamuna that if our Krishna is Bal Brahmachari, he is Naishtik Brahmachari, then give us way. So gopis, they cover their face and start laughing that he embraces us. How can he be Brahmachari? How can he be Alingan, Chumban? How can he be Brahmachari? They know Krishna. So they start laughing. Krishna, stop joking. Tell us, how can we cross the river? Krishna said, no. You tell Yamuna that if our Krishna is Naishtik Brahmachari, give us way. So the gopis go, they say, we have no faith in this boy. So they tell Yamuna, sorry, but Krishna is saying, okay, if Krishna is Naishtik Brahmachari, give way to us. And immediately Yamuna parts. Hare Krishna. She gives way. So all the gopis, they take all the bhoga that they have cooked and they cross. They just walk through Yamuna. And they go to the other side. And Durvas Muni is sitting on the other side of Yamuna. They go, they offer their pranams to Durvas Muni. And they say, Durvas Muni, we have got all this humble offerings for you. Please eat. Durvas says, okay, give me little bit, I will eat. Gopi says, no, you eat nicely. We want to feed you nicely. Durvas says, okay, then if you want to feed me, give me everything. I will eat everything. So they give like mountains, almost like Annaput to Durvas Muni. Eat. And Durvas Muni just takes everything and eats. He finishes the whole offering. Mountains and mountains of offerings cooked by millions of gopis. Durvas Muni eats it in an instant. The gopis are very happy. Durvas Muni says, oh, I am very satisfied. Thank you. Very nice meal. So the gopis says, thank you, Durvas Muni, for accepting our offerings. Now we'll go back. We'll cross the Yamuna. They again go to the Yamuna. And they say, Yamuna is flooded. We cannot cross the Yamuna. They come back to Durvas Muni. It's middle of the night. How will we cross the Yamuna? Durvas Muni says, how did you come? The gopis, they smile. They say, when we came, Krishna told us to tell Yamuna that if Krishna is Naishtik Brahmachari, Gopinath is, Gopijana Vallabh is Naishtik Brahmachari, then give way. We said and Yamuna gave way. So Durvas Muni smiles. He understands Krishna's mood. He says, all right. So then, now to go back, you tell Yamuna, if what we speak is true, then give us way. If Durvas Muni has never eaten anything other than Durva grass, then give way to us. Gopis, so like Guru, like disciple. Guru and Chela both are same. Both are lying. The disciple says that I am Naishtik Brahmachari when he embraces us and dances with us. And the Guru is saying that I have not eaten anything other than Durva grass. Well, he just now ate Chhappan Bhog in front of us. There was Gulab Jam, there was Rasgulla, there is Jalebi, there is Puri, there is Sabji, everything he ate, rice. And he's saying, I have never eaten but Durva grass. So, But what to say? You cannot challenge Durvas Muni, otherwise he'll curse. So Radharani and all the gopis, they go to the river Yamuna and they say, well, Yamuna Devi, if Durvas Muni has never eaten anything but Durva grass, then please give way. And immediately Yamuna gives way. And the gopis are surprised. They immediately cross. They walk through Yamuna. They go on the other side and Krishna is waiting for them. And they sit around Krishna. They say, Krishna, we are very confused. You have to solve this mystery. How is it that both those statements were true? Because Yamuna Rani will never lie. Yamuna Rani gave way means both those statements were true. So how can it be true? How can you be Naishtik Brahmachari? And how can Durvas Muni say that he has never eaten anything but Durvagras? Lord Krishna explains. He says, you see, you are my devotees and you want to reciprocate with me. You want to serve me. Therefore, as your Lord, as your master, I accept your service. You want me to dance with you? I dance with you. But I'm not attached. I'm not attached. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name deshasya na priya. Na priya. No one is dear to me. I don't envy anyone and no one is dear to me. And similarly, Durvas Muni doesn't go asking for food. He is sitting and doing his bhajan. If food naturally comes and devotees want him to eat, to please them, he eats. But if he doesn't get anything, he will eat Durvagras. If he gets, he will eat that also like Durvagras to please the offerings, to please the devotees who are making the offerings. He is not attached. So my devotees, my guru is not attached and I am also not attached. So Krishna says that I am not attached. You see, Gaurchandra Prabhu, Krishna says I am not attached. But gopis are crying for Krishna in separation. Radharani is crying in separation from Krishna. And Krishna is saying, I am not attached. No one is dear to me. Very harsh, isn't it? But then, when Krishna realizes the love of the gopis for him, he wants to experience that love. What is that love that the gopis are feeling for me? So that Dwarkadish Krishna, he wants to experience that love. He wants to understand that love. So he comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now listen carefully. Jagannath wants to understand what is the love of Radharani. So he is coming as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna is coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Radha Bhav Dudisvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. When he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he understands. He's in Radha Bhav. So he understands what is the love of my devotees. And he's crying and he's falling on the ground unconscious. And his limbs are entering his body. He's becoming like a turtle, like a tortoise. Kurma, Gaura Kurma. He's becoming like a fish in the ocean at night. Matsya, Gaura Matsya. So all these ecstatic manifestations are happening. His limbs are getting dislocated. His skin is bleeding. His teeth are chattering in Jagannath Rath Yatra. He's experiencing all this ecstasy because he's understanding what is the love of my devotees. And now Mahaprabhu understands. As Mahaprabhu, Krishna understands what is the love of Radharani, what is the love of the gopis. So when we have Gaur Nitai, they are our acharyas who are teaching us Gopi Bhav, who are teaching us Vraj Bhakti, Gaur Nitai. Jagannath is Krishna, Dwarkadish Krishna in separation from Vrindavan. And these two, Gaura and Jagannath, they meet in Jagannath Puri. They meet in Jagannath. Both are in Vipralambha. Both are in Vipralambha. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the mood of Radharani, feeling separation from Jagannath. And Jagannath is feeling separation from Radharani, who has come as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Both are in Vipralambha, but they meet. There is union in Jagannath Puri. So this is the deep mood, Prabhuji. This is the deep mood. And Navadvip Dham is the Audarya Dham. It is a Dham of mercy, where this same mercy that Mahaprabhu is bringing with him is being distributed. And who is the main distributor? Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Nadi Yago Drumme Nityananda Mahajan. He has opened this storehouse of Krishna Prema and is distributing. So in this way, we should see the connection between the original Yugal Murti, Radha Madan Mohan, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and Gaur Nitai. So is that helpful, Gaurchandra Prabhu? You have to,
yes,
by
Prabhuji,
understanding this correlation, this relationship between the deities, we can be absorbed. Hare Krishna. Is that okay,
Thank
Prabhu?
you.
Sorry.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So, dear Naveen Prabhu, it's way over time. So, we will stop here. I will not be able to take any more questions.
Okay.
So,
No
we'll end
problem.
here.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the wonderful class, and especially for this last part where you were answering the question from Gaurchandra Prabhu. It was very, very enlightening and also filled with so much nectar, Prabhu. It was like a class on in itself. So thank you so much for the wonderful narration of the history of Lord Jagannath and for all these wonderful, amazing details and sharing your wisdom with us. We are grateful for your association, Prabhu, and we look forward to hearing from you again. Jai.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So next part is the Narsimharti.
Prabhu will just go through a few announcements, and also we have a small section of the program today where we will be acknowledging His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj's disappearance, and then
Please
we will
go
go into Nrsimha Aarti. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So we'll move along now, dear devotees, to the next part of the program. We'll just draw up the slides, and we'll go through some of the announcements. Okay, so thank you, Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, for the wonderful narration on the history of Lord Jagannath. And coming up next week on our virtual Sunday program, we have a class by His Grace Madhava Nanda Prabhu, who will be talking on Ratha Yatra. And please stay tuned to our social media and our WhatsApp groups for the details. The program will be on the 11th of July, and it will also be a morning program. So please make note of that, dear devotees, that the change in time for next week's program will be a morning program. It will be at 8 a.m. Prabhu is speaking from India, so to accommodate him, we have changed the time to a morning program. So please be aware of that, dear devotees. Yes. And moving along, we also have our midweek program continuing with the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Part 2 will be on the glories of Srila Jiva Goswami, and the class will be given by Her Grace Geeta Mataji. We look very forward to hearing from Mataji on the glories of Srila Jiva Goswami, 7th of July at 7 p.m. The times are still the same for the midweek program. Yes. And also we have our weekly kirtan today, dear devotees. If you follow us on any of our social media forums, you know that we've been hosting a weekly kirtan for the past 3 to 4 weeks, about a month now, at the temple, ISKCON Atlanta, from 5:30 to 7:30. So that will be going on today as well. Kirtan will begin in a few minutes, and it will be streamed on the Kirtan Atlanta Facebook page and will be shared on the ISKCON Atlanta Facebook page. So please look out for any notifications about the Kirtan starting shortly. Yes, and some upcoming festivals. As Adi Gadadhar Prabhu mentioned today, we have the disappearance day of Sri Srivas Pandit, and on July 5th we have Yogini Ekadashi, and July 6th is the breakfast from Ekadashi, which would be from 6:33 a.m. to 11:19 a.m. On July 9th, we have Sri Gadadhar Pandit Disappearance Day and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Disappearance Day as well. And then on July 11th, we have Ratha Yatra, the chariot festival of Lord Jagannath. So that festival on the 11th is the actual day that the Ratha Yatra is observed. In ISKCON Atlanta, there hasn't been any final decision regarding the Ratha Yatra, but we are in talks regarding that. So when we plan the festival and we get approval, then we will let the community know. So yes, okay. And also in August, we have some other upcoming festivals, some major festivals actually. On the 22nd of August, we have Balaram Jayanti, the appearance of Lord Balaram. On the 30th of August, we have Janmashtami, the appearance of Lord Krishna, and then Srila Prabhupada's appearance day on the 31st of August, and Radha Astami on the 13th of September. So yes, a very, very big schedule in terms of festivals coming up in August. So we would just like to encourage the devotees to prepare nicely to observe those. Yes, and as everyone knows, we have very big social media presence right now. So you can check us out on all our platforms on Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and YouTube. All our videos are recorded and posted to YouTube as well. So if you've missed it, or if you'd like to share any of the videos at any time, please check out our YouTube page. Check out our Linktree page to check out all the social media forums that we have online. Yes, dear devotees, and as we all know, as His Grace Adi Gadadhar Prabhu mentioned, today is actually the 1-year anniversary of the disappearance of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. It was last year on this day, 4th of July, that Maharaj departed from this planet. And we would just like to acknowledge his wonderful endeavors and his life of devotion that he dedicated to Srila Prabhupada. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj was what they call a Prabhupada man. Everything was centered and focused around Srila Prabhupada, and he always emphasized the importance of Srila Prabhupada's position in this movement. And His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj is very dearly missed within our community, within the ISKCON community as a whole. He was a great leader. He played various different roles within ISKCON, which helped evolve ISKCON and grow ISKCON and take the movement to different levels and different platforms. And he served in so many different ways. And he accomplished all of the instructions that Srila Prabhupada presented to him in this life. And today is the 1 year anniversary. I thought I'll just share a small quick lila regarding the disappearance of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So as we know, he left and he departed last year on this day. And he was in America at that time, in Florida. And Maharaj was in the hospital, and he departed on a very auspicious day. It was the disappearance of Sanatan Goswami and Guru Purnima, and a lot of titis actually culminated on that day, and that was the actual day that Maharaj decided to leave. So because it was in the middle of the pandemic, it was very difficult for actually devotees to go and be with Maharaj during this time. But when Maharaj departed the planet, they allowed the devotees to come and perform the last rites for Maharaj. So a group of devotees were able to go and be there and perform the last rites. And fortunately, I was one of those devotees. I don't know what my good fortune was, but I was able to go and be with my spiritual master at that time. And yes, it was a wonderful experience. It was streamed online, so I'm sure a lot of the devotees saw and viewed the last rites ceremony. And just to touch on what happened after that. So after that, we were actually organizing for Maharaj's Vapu to be taken back to India. And because it was still pandemic peak season of the pandemic, it was very difficult. There were so many restrictions and so many different things that we had to overcome in order to get this done. So the temple president of ISKCON Atlanta, His Grace Vedasar Prabhu, and I, we worked with the Consulate General, the Indian Consulate General, speaking to them and explaining to them. And we also got a lot of help from very senior Vaishnavas in the form of His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj and His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who gave their influence as well. And the Consulate General, who was a very wonderful lady, she was liaising with the government in India, Narendra Modi, and things like this. And eventually, the permissions were given. We got the documents. It took about 5 days, and the documents were given. And so Maharaj's Vapu was meant to leave the next day on the Saturday, and the documents were processed on the Friday. So I drove the documents down to Florida overnight, and I reached there at midnight, and I called the people who were needing to receive the documents, and they were very helpful and very kind, and they accepted the documents, although it was very late, and they processed it, and they gave the green light. They said, yes, okay, everything is in order. So they will release Guru Maharaj's Vapu the next day. So because it was a very tough situation, they didn't want anyone to be around during that time. They just wanted the two people who were actually going to handle Guru Maharaj's Vapu to be there. But I encouraged them in some way through some inspiration from Guru Maharaj and from Krishna. I encouraged them to please allow me to be there. So they allowed me to be there. So I spent the night in Florida. The next day in the morning, I went to the home where the body was, Vapu was kept, and I was allowed to be there. And they gave me some time to be with Maharaj, some intimate time. It was very, very, I want to say bewildering, because I was the only devotee there, and it was a lot to take in. I was receiving calls from all over the world, from different devotees explaining different things on what to do and how to do. But when I was there in that moment, I immediately, when I saw the Vapu, I gave dandavats, and when I did dandavats, at that moment I felt Guru Maharaj's presence in front of me. I could feel Guru Maharaj right there as soon as I did dandavat, and from that moment on, I could feel that energy of Guru Maharaj being present with me at that moment. And I chanted and did parikrams, and they allowed me to be there for some time. And eventually they took the Vapu and placed it onto the vehicle that would take it to the airport, and I was allowed to go with the Vapu. And on the way to the airport was very transcendental. It was early parts of the morning, and the sun was just coming out. And as we reached the airport, it actually started to just drizzle a little bit. And I remember reading in Bhagavatam, they saying that when the sun is out and when it rains, it's a very auspicious sign. So yes, everything was very, very nicely planned. The Vapu was eventually placed onto a vehicle where it would be taken onto the plane. And at that time, I called some of the other devotees who were present in Florida. I just couldn't be there by myself for the very last darshan. So I shared my location, and some of the devotees came there. And we did a nice kirtan, and we remembered Guru Maharaj in so many different ways. And we got the last darshan. And yes, Guru Maharaj's Vapu was then taken onto the plane. And that was his final departure from Orlando. And Orlando was a very special place to His Holiness Bhakti Churu Maharaj. As we know, he was establishing the Veda Foundation, which is still an ongoing project. And he came specifically to America during the pandemic to overlook and take care of that project. So yes, it's actually the first time I've shared that Leela openly and publicly. It's been 1 year since that has happened, so I felt it fitting to share that Leela today. So thank you, dear devotees, for listening. And we would like to chant for His Holiness Bhakti Churu Maharaj today, along with some of the other devotees who are facing some health elements. His Holiness Chaitanya Maharaj, Her Grace Govardhan Leela Mataji, and also a very special devotee from South Africa, Her Grace Rupa Manjari Mataji, who also left the body today. And for all the doctors who are fighting the COVID-19 pandemic, and to those who are affected by COVID-19, whoever we didn't mention. So the devotees would like to please join me in chanting Hare Krishna 3 times in a prayerful mood to send out some blessings for these devotees. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, dear devotees, for being with us and joining us today. And also today's kirtan, Sunday evening kirtan, will be dedicated to His Holiness Bhakti Churu Maharaj. It will be streamed live from the temple, so we would like you to all join us for that. You can check that out on the Kirtan Atlanta page or the ISKCON Atlanta Facebook page. So thank you so much. And to conclude the program, we have our little Maitali, the daughter of His Grace Adigarar Prabhu, the devotee who just gave the class, who will be leading us in the Shringa Aarti. So Maitali, if you are ready, you can please take over.
Namaste Narasingaya.
Namaste Narasingaya.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Maithili, for leading us in such a wonderful Nashringa Aarti. And thank you for all the devotees who were there also present, playing instruments and chorusing as well. So thank you, dear devotees, for being with us today and giving us your association and supporting this forum. We'd like to encourage everyone to please continue to do so. And yes, we will now conclude the program. Thank you for all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you.